Toyota and Lexus 3.0, 3.3, installation of all of the timing components. Let's install the water pump, apply a thin layer of sealant all around, ensure the surface is nice, clean and dry. In my case, I use gray sealant because it's high flex oil resistance, but there are other sealants that do a great job as well. Now let's apply a little bit of sealant, very thin layer of sealant on the engine block on the surface of the water pump. Now I'm going to spread the sealant with the tip of my finger, even though I'm installing a new gasket, but I still want to make sure that I'm not going to leave any cuts in between. And this is the new gasket here, and I'm going to press it against the sealant so it can stick against the sealant. Next, I'm going to install the water pump here, and I'm installing this water pump approximately about 4 or 5 minutes after I apply sealant. And bolt and nut for this water pump are tightened to 71-inch pounds. Install the timing belt idler number 1. It has a 10mm bolt Allen. Very important, please don't forget about this washer. Install the bolt all the way inside by hand, and I'm gonna torque this bolt at 25 foot-pounds. Let's install the timing belt cover. Now this timing cover has some bushings in these areas here, so just make sure those bushings are there. Now these are 10mm bolts, and we're gonna torque them at 76-inch pounds. The timing belt pulley for cylinder head number 1. This is the timing belt guy here, and I'm gonna install it with this guy facing out. It's totally the opposite on cylinder head number 2. This guy is facing the inside of the engine. And these are 17mm bolts, and we're gonna torque them at 92 foot-pounds. Alright, I'm gonna torque these bolts at 92 foot-pounds, and make sure you hold the crankshaft with a 24mm wrench. Install the timing belt idler number 2 14mm bolt, and we're gonna torque it at 32 foot-pounds. Before installing the timing belt, I like to move this timing belt pulley backwards a little bit, about half of a tooth, and the same I do here on the crankshaft. I move it backwards a little bit, about half of a tooth. This timing gear on cylinder head number 1, I leave it alone 100% on time. And come here to this side, see the timing mark here on the timing belt pulley lining up with the timing mark here on the metal cover. Right there. Let's come to the crankshaft. About right there. I moved the two pulleys backwards about half of a tooth or maybe one tooth, so let's see how it works. Alright, see the arrows here on the timing belt? These arrows are gonna be lining up with the timing mark on the timing pulley number 1 here, and the orientation of these arrows is to the front of the engine. When you're installing this timing belt, you might have to pull the pulleys either to the front or either backwards. That is to make some adjustments sometimes, so that is very normal. Alright, now it's time to put this pulley back on time, and this is when I get the tension I like on this timing belt. Alright, I have a very nice tension here on the timing belt, and the timing marks here are lining up again. Let's turn the crankshaft forward to line up the timing marks again and get the desired tension on the timing belt. Remember, all the slack goes here on this side. I'm gonna put something here temporarily to hold this timing belt idler. Now you don't have to do this if you have the tensioner handy ready, but I don't have it handy right now. Let's install the timing belt tensioner. And I'm gonna torque these bolts at 20 foot-pounds. Pull out this thing here. And pull out the lock pin on the timing belt tensioner. Right there is the timing mark on the pulley, the arrows, and the timing mark on the oil side and the cover. They all lining up. Now this is the timing belt pulley number 1. Now let's come here to the oil side and cylinder head number 2. That is the timing mark right there, lining up with the timing mark on the timing cover, the cutout on the oil side. And now let's come down to the crankshaft. And that is the dot right there and the timing belt pulley lining up perfectly with the timing mark on the oil pump. Basically the timing mark on the oil pump is a small lobe. See, they both are lining up perfectly. And if we come here to the right side of the pulley, we will see this timing mark here. But me, I don't really pay attention to this timing mark here. In this case, once you line up the two timing marks, this one here, this is where you really have to line up. Also, the keyway of the crankshaft remains or stays at 11 o'clock. And if we come to cylinder head number 1, this is how the camshafts are gonna look like. The two single dots, one on each side, are lining up in the center right there, in the center of the cylinder head, but it's so dark right there, it cannot be seen. With a light here, we can see a little bit better, but it looks ugly too, but the two timing marks can be seen right there, the two single ones, one on each side, cylinder head number 1. And with light here too, on cylinder head number 2, right there, the two single dots, right there, the two on the side right there, the two on the side, and the cam exhaust. All you gotta do is worry about these ones here, the two in the center, the two single ones. 32mm socket here. I'm gonna try to turn over the engine and see if it turns smoothly or if we have a problem. And everything is fine. It's not binding, it's not gonna stuck or anything like that, so the timing belt has been installed already. Thanks for watching.